everybody. It's an extra little ride I'm throwing in this morning. Lovely day. So we're headed for Windsor. Just a little trip round Windsor. Let everyone know what it looks like. Lots of people from overseas, or even those that live quite a long way away, don't really realise that the castle is actually in the middle of the town. So I'm just going to go through a few little places close by. And let you know a little bit about one or two places on the way. Across the edge of, I think it's Woodbrook Common, Nature Reserve, on the edge of Crookham. And pretty soon we'll be along by the River Thames, headed for Windsor. This is the Bolter's Lock area of the Thames. A few walkers out. A nice view of the Thames here, heading into Windsor Maidenhead Bridge. Used to be a famous nightclub on the other side of the river many years ago called Skindles. Maybe a bit further up, somewhere on the left here. It's all knocked down now, and loads of expensive flats and houses built on the land. It's about here, Skindles. There's Maidenhead Bridge, rowing club. A lot of rowing round here. A lot of the Olympic oarsmen come from round Maidenhead, Marlow, Crookham. Yeah, I've come across the Dawny Lake, which is where in 2012 we won so many rowing gold medals. I'm just going to go up here and see if they'll let me in, but I don't think they will. See what happens. Around. Apparently it's too busy with mountain bikers to let the public in until September. So anyway, that's where we won all our gold medals in the Olympics in 2012. It's the rowing lake that belongs to Eton College, which is just on the way here. And it was used for the Olympics. Just going across this wild common land. Amazing spaces like this. 2 miles outside Slough, about a mile outside of Windsor. And you think you're in a new forest or something. Grazing there. Got some posts up there, so it obviously floods at some point. I presume that's what they're there for. We're about a few hundred yards away now from Eton College, which is only a couple of hundred yards away from the town centre of Windsor. So this is, I think, coming into the area where the dormitories are, where the kids, it's a boarding school mainly, so the kids live in these places. Kids from all over the world these days. It's a great big place, huge campus. Like a university almost. to the sort of centre of the school area now. If you come here on a busy day, there'll be hundreds of kids walking around in what looks like top hats and tails. This school was founded by Henry VI in 1441, and if you bear in mind that education for most people, most normal people, didn't become mainstream until about 1880, you might well think, well, the rich and the landed gentry educated their kids before anyone else got a chance, because everyone that comes here are extremely wealthy. It's about 50 grand a year minimum to send a kid here. But that wouldn't be true to think, because it was actually a charity for poor kids when it was built. 70 poor children to be given an education by King Henry VI, because he had a good education and he wanted to offer that to those that couldn't afford it. So there you go. Just going to let these vehicles get out of the way. I'll tell you a little bit more as we go up through Eton High Street. So 20 Prime Ministers have been to Eton, including our current Prime Minister, Mr. B. Johnson, and the previous, or two before that, David Cameron. They were school friends here, I believe. But most people that come here, bearing in mind the cost of the education, most of them end up as actors, writers, army majors and generals and things. Back in the old days, they said when you went to Eton, you either ended up in the army or in the church. And I think our present Archbishop of Canterbury is an old Etonian. So this is the main street in Eton. Used to run straight into the main street of Windsor, but nowadays you can't get across the bridge, it's a footbridge only. This end, it really is more of a little bit of Windsor really, lots of eateries, pubs, that sort of thing. The other end we just come through, that's where there used to be lots of tailors that used to make the uniforms and things for the kids. So we're just coming up to the bridge. And literally we're just a couple of 100 yards away from Windsor Castle now. There we go, just to see a bit of Windsor Castle there, that's the bridge. But to get there we have to make a 5 or 6 mile detour just to go that little 100 yards, not even 100 yards. 50 yards. In Windsor. Just 100 yards away from where we were a little while ago in Eton after our little 5 mile diversion. The one thing that everyone seems to comment about is you can come out of McDonald's, which is right in front of us, And 30-40 yards away is Windsor Castle, which is all up our left here. There we are, right in the town centre. Queen won't be up there, she had a lie-in on Sunday. People are already going in there, doing little trips, see the extent of the place. It's the Guild Hall where the good and the great get married. So there you are, Windsor Castle, right opposite McDonald's. To look after the Queen, they've got lots of army around here. There's barracks all down here on the right. Show you a few more bits when we get round the corner. This is part of Windsor Great Park. Only about half a mile outside Windsor. Legoland over to the right there somewhere. Some of these oak trees are 500 years old or more. Well, that's about it for this little ride. It's not one of my scheduled rides, but I just felt to come out for a little ride around, and I thought I'd show people Windsor Castle. So thanks ever so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope it was interesting. If it was, please give it a thumbs up and a like and subscribe and all that good stuff, and I'll catch you in the next one. See you later. Just going to pull off the road here for a second. So there you are, there's a view of Windsor Castle. There's the Queen's back door there. So in one of my previous videos I showed you where the Queen enters Ascot Racecourse. Well, this is how she comes. She comes out of her back door there. Set this dog to go by. Comes out of the back door in front of us. Comes up this road, still in her back garden. Goes across the road, up that road to the Copper Horse. You can turn off, go right through the park and end up at Ascot Racecourse.